Right then, ladies and gentlemen, it's Pro here, and I'm going to give a quick rundown of Shadowplay. It's just come into beta in the last couple of days, and I'm just going to have a little quick disclaimer now. Whatever I'm saying is not hatred towards the program, it is just constructive speculation. I really want this program to be amazing. I already love it. I just really hope they address some problems and sort it out, but hey, it's in beta, isn't it, at the end of the day? So let's get this ball rolling and let's start going through it. So right, what you used to hear at the top is your typical GeForce experience. Obviously your games, your driver, updates, blah blah, your game, and your preferences. There's my rig there with the SLI 670s. And so you might notice that we've got a few new options. So if we have a look down here, obviously just like overview, optimization, and obviously Shadowplay. Has a little bit at the bottom there, minimum system requirements, but I think most people nowadays, if you're planning to do any game recording or anything like that, I think on top of your CPU will already be more powerful enough and you'll have enough RAM. It's just your GPU, you need a 600 series GPU or higher, and that's basically about it. Nice and simple. So you've got the new tab at the top for Shadowplay, so this is what activates. So it's nice and simple. You've got your on and off button at the bottom here. You've got your different recording modes. So you've got Shadow, which is standard just by itself, and basically the way that will work is it will record the last X amount of minutes of gameplay that you've just had. So I've got mine set to a nice happy medium there of 5 minutes, and then obviously you've got your manual, and then you've got Shadow and manual, so you can toggle it on whenever you want, and you can also, it will backtrack the previous 5 to 10, well, 1 minute to 10 minutes of gameplay. Nice and simple. And over here you've got your quality settings. So obviously you've got your low, medium and high. It's a bit of a pity that they haven't really put a manual in there, because a lot of people saying they might want to record at 30 frames per second, but to be honest, the quality of this program and how it records 60, it should just be the standard. Resolution seems to be a problem at the moment. Regardless of your monitor size, I think, well, definitely if you're over 1080p, it will always record at 1080p itself. It doesn't matter if you're like 1440 or anything like that, it will always record at 1080. So that's a bit annoying for a few people there, but it isn't the end of the world. I will say I have not tried low and medium settings. I've only tried the high, but I am really pleased with the quality that's coming out of here. And finally, you've got audio. A bit disappointing down here. You've only got your in-game audio and audio off. So I'm just going to start covering through audio quickly. It's a bit of a pity really, because obviously a lot of people, when they do their gameplay videos, Battlefield, DayZ, whatever you're doing, a lot of people use obviously their external chat programs. So like I've got Skype and TeamSpeak. Some people might use Ventrilo. When you're recording audio and it's just set to the base in-game, which is the only option you've got, it will automatically record whatever is going through your primary audio output. So obviously over here I've got my Realtek digital output. That's just the base onboard, on motherboard audio decoder on there, and obviously I'm running it out through the optical cable. So when you're running your TeamSpeak or anything like that, it will just record whatever's coming through the actual line itself. So obviously on my playback I've got that coming out of the optical there. So you will have to be really careful about your audio levels. You don't want to be playing a game and get a really epic moment and then have someone shouting, screaming over that real deciding part of a video. You know, you might only want the game audio. You don't want someone chatting over the top. So that's how DX Story kind of works a little bit better, because you've got the separate audio streams which you can set, which I can show you a quick example here. So I've got line 1, which is my game audio. I've got line 2, which I can set TeamSpeak or Skype to output through, and then obviously I've got a line 3, which is my microphone there. The thing about this is when you record in all separate lines and you add it into a video editing program, or any program for that matter, you can separate the audio streams so you don't have to have that person chatting. It's not hard coded to the base audio file, which is brilliant. So, you know, you can re-edit someone's voice, you know, you can like have little snippets here and there, or you can cut them out completely. So I think that here is a function that the actual Shadowplay must have. I personally think it should have an option for the mic, optional on and off, and it should have almost like its own virtual line that you can assign TeamSpeak to tie to. So obviously if I go here, I've obviously got my audio outputs, but then I've got line 1 and line 2, which I'm using virtual audio cable. It'd be nice to see an Nvidia Shadowplay based one on this list. Just down here on the bottom would be beautiful, in my opinion. And then by having that, it will allow you to have it all in separate streams, and then you can split the audio apart when you come down to the video editing, and it makes things a whole lot easier. Well, not necessarily a lot easier, it gives you more in-depth options on what you can do with your video recording, especially when you come to the final finished product. You could have a lot better quality. So it's just like a rough basis on audio covered. People have been saying as well that you can't actually have your mic when you're recording with Shadowplay. How do you get your mic working? Well, I'm going to go through it quickly here, how you get your mic working. So if I go into recording devices, and I will open up the mixer as well while I'm at it. So obviously this is you select your default microphone. So this is obviously my Blue Snowball. I'll go in properties, go into listen settings, you set so you can listen to this device, so it'll play it through your primary output, which obviously Shadowplay will be recording through. You set your microphone to a audible level which is convenient and you're happy with. Once you've done that, and you set listener, so then over here on our mixer, on your primary line, you can see I've got my Blue Snowball over here. As long as you don't have it completely cut out, it will display your mic volume, your mic chat through the program in your recording. Obviously if you have the volume high, I can get an echo on myself, and it's quite irritating. So what you can do, as long as it's anything above 0, it will still pick up your audio through your recording. And over here, that doesn't speculate how loud the recording will be either. That is just what you're actually going to be hearing yourself. The main thing that will be stipulating the actual levels and the loudness of the recording itself is the level for the microphone, the intensity of the recording. That is a quick fix that I've just realised that you can do. Obviously I think when it actually comes out of beta, hopefully they might implement the audio ideas that I think, which would be really nice, especially a microphone option on there. Like maybe bump up the actual preferences a little bit more for Shadowplay, because it's very basic at the moment. You've only got your actual on-screen indicator and obviously your keyboard hotkeys and your recording location. That is it. There would be nice to see some more audio-based settings here, and especially with video quality settings if they decided to put a manual. But I think I'm quite happy with high. So as we've just gone on to like video quality quickly, when I'm recording, it records at 60 frames per second at 1080p, and when I do a 6-minute video, that goes to about 2.3 gigabyte. When I record with DxStory and I do a 6-minute video, yes, the quality might be a little bit sharper, but it's so hard to distinguish with the human eye. That is putting out about 9 gig of actual like pure data. I'm using Lagris lossless codec, which is the best for me. It impedes less hardware usage. It's a little bit less demanding on the CPU. But then, right, you've got an extra 6 gig of memory being used, but it's still only recording at 30 frames per second. And for the very distinguishable amount of video quality on screen, you won't really notice it. And I just find it incredible how well it records like the quality. It literally just grabs it straight from your graphics card and rips it straight to your hard drive. There's almost like no encoding at all. It almost feels what it's going through. There's so little hardware usage on this actual program itself. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So I think personally, I don't think that is a priority to really push it any more than high. Maybe give you an option so you can have the actual resolution display or record at your native resolution that your monitor is outputting at. That will be a nice little extra option for when it comes out of beta. So let's just quickly go over video quality and obviously the size, which I just covered. There is a problem at the moment when you're recording, so let's open up my recording file here, and this is the folder I recorded some sample footage. So I'll just wait for my hard drive to wake up a second. So that's obviously 6 minutes and 26 seconds at 2.3 gigahertz, which I mentioned, which is for our 6-minute video is brilliant. If we have a look on details, it's actually recording at 62 frames per second, which you might think, oh, that's not really, it's not a big game changer in any way or form. So if we for example, if I load up Adobe Premiere and I just quickly grab a quick file and then just import one in. So I import this file in and drop it onto my timeline. When it's in Adobe Premiere, the audio itself will actually finish about 20 seconds before, because the video file is playing at a different frame rate than the program recognizes. The program actually thinks it's going at 60 frames per second when it's actually outputting at 62. So it almost is like the video is in a little bit like fast forward and the video ends, like the audio ends early. It's very strange. The whole entire video is out of sync. So if you really want to try and use this for any form of video editing through an editing program, for the time being, you're going to really have to re-encode the video through an external program like Handbrake or something along those lines. Because once you pop it through another program, Handbrake, what it will do is obviously you can turn around and force it to output at 60 frames per second. So I'll recompress that down to 60, and your audio and your video will be in sync for when you turn around and dump it into Adobe Premiere or Vegas or whatever audio editing software you're using. So that is a big, huge qualm in my eyes. That is a major no-no. That is the biggest problem with it right now. It is almost unusable for any serious YouTuber. For your personal videos, yes, when you record them and then you open them up and then you actually view it on your computer and you use Windows Media Player or something along those lines, it will play and it will all be in sync, no problem at all. Happy days. But then obviously when you try and edit the video, it's not. So it's a slight problem that will need to be adjusted and changed down the line, and that was something that I like to see. So not major problems at the moment, but as the actual functionality of the program, yes, it completely ruins it. So you can get or at least you can get your mic input if you're doing a live commentary or anything. That is brilliant. But unfortunately at the moment, with this desyncing issue when it comes to video actual rendering and video editing, is a bit of a problem, because it kind of ruins the fact that you have to re-render the video, then you can edit it, then you have to render it again once you've edited your video. You're constantly lowering that quality down, and the benefit you're seeing from this program and the awesome quality you're getting is therefore none. There is no point. The only real benefit at the moment is the smaller file size to the quality you're getting. You're not really seeing the benefit of their hard work and their effort, and I find that quite a pity. So in the end, I would say at the moment I will give this like a 5 out of 10 for just the sheer, the awesome quality you can get. Obviously running at 1080p, 60 frames per second. The hard drive size is minimal usage on every video, but then there are a complete and a bloody clusterfucks lying around with obviously the audio, which can easily be fixed, but it's not ease of use. You have to play around with it to realise that, and you have to faff around with your settings too much. It shouldn't have to be like that. And especially the main problem is when you obviously try and do your video editing in Adobe Premiere or Vegas, that is a big no-no. I think if they address these problems, maybe add a few extra audio in-game options, your microphone, so forth on there, maybe a new extra video option so you can do it manually and you can adjust your own buy rates. It would be brilliant if that is possible, you know. But for the time being, I think these problems are just scaring people away from the program somewhat. I think definitely use it. You know, there's so many times where I would have missed a decent moment if it wasn't for Shadow, part of the Shadowplay. I would have missed everything on there. And I've been playing the last 2 days, and I got some more awesome moments, like I showed a moment ago, where I sniped that guy out of the helicopter, and a helicopter full of an extra 3 people crashed to the ground and killed them all. Awesome. I would have missed that without that. So that's why I think it's still worth using this in the time being, and get used to using it and playing around with it in your own time, and then try the quality settings for yourself. I'm not going to display a comparison. I'm not going to be showing any of that in this video because there's no point, because it'd be going on YouTube, it'd be being compressed and you won't see it truthfully for your own eyes. I think when it comes to the FPS drop, it's absolutely amazing. Next to none. You know, when I'm playing on Bioshock Infinite, I get literally no frames per second drop when I'm recording with Shadowplay and when I'm with not. When I'm recording with DX Story, it drops by about 10 to 15 frames per second. And that shows, especially on a very low CPU intensive game, when you're recording, it shows how little it actually uses. It's literally about a frame or two. Obviously, when you use to play on a game from Battlefield 3 or obviously upcoming Battlefield 4, yes, it will be hammering your CPU a whole lot more, but you'll be losing frames maybe up to 5 frames, I would have thought, at most. You know, Battlefield 3 was roughly about 5 frames. A little bit more of DX Story, but what I've noticed with these external programs, when it's clearing the dump of the recording, you're getting big drops in frame rate all of a sudden, and it's usually in very intense moments where the CPU is ramping up, but then because your recording program is using so much of your CPU, it's making it lag out. So I think as CPU usage as well, it's absolutely amazing. So there we have it. It's gone for a quick couple of bases, a bit of like a random order, but there we go. Definitely give it a go. I'd like to hear your feedback. What would you give it out of 10? What would you like to see in the program? If you can leave that in the comments, you know, give me a like, tell me what you think about if you're getting any problems with this video editing. If anyone would like to try that on their behalf, that'd be absolutely amazing. Okay guys, well, anyway, thanks for watching. This is Prol, out.